The August meeting for the Social Circle Board of Education on August the 10th, 2023 is called to order. First item on our agenda is prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is the approval of our agenda. Dr. Brewer, are there any changes? No, ma'am. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? With no further discussion, all those in favor, please sign by aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Next, we have minutes from our July 17th special call meeting and July the 27th work session. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes from the special call meeting and the work session are approved. Next is the board comments. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of the previous board chair and District 4 representative as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Based on conversations with the Board of Education, we have nominations to fill the board vacancy seats until the end of the year. These positions will be open during the upcoming November election. Following approval of the board, we will invite the Honorable Judge Bruce Wright to conduct the induction of the new board members. I nominate Taylor Morris to fill the board chair position until December the 31st, 2023. Do I have a motion to accept this nomination?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I nominate Maggie Barnell to represent District 4 until December the 31st, 2023. Do I have a motion to accept this nomination?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we will have our superintendent's report.
Would this be an all right time to allow the judge to swear everyone in?
Yes.
That'd be all right? Thank you. Judge Wright, we know you've had a very busy day and a very long one, so we'd like to take advantage of this opportunity for you to swear our new members in. Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate both of you. It's a tough position because you're put in the important education of our children. I say our. I have children, they're grown now, but still, you're put in a very, very important position. And I want to thank you as a parent, as a citizen also of Walton County, for doing this job and taking your time out of your busy schedule. I know you, I know your family, and so I know that both of you do a good job, and the parents of the children's social service should be proud and honored to have y'all here, so thank you. And we have an oath. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on while I see. So I'll ask both of you to raise your right hand, and I'm gonna say "I," and then you state your name, and then I'll go all the way through it. You don't have to repeat after me. You just reply at the end by stating "I will" or "I do." Okay? I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will truly perform the duties of a local school board member of the City of Social Circle school system to the best of my ability. I do further swear or affirm that I am not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, that I am not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, any other state, or any foreign state, which I am, by the laws of the state of Georgia, prohibited from holding, that I am otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and the laws of Georgia, and that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, so help me God. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. If you guys can join us.
Board members, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great meeting. Good to see everybody.
Thank you. We appreciate your help, Judge Ryan. So next, I'll share my comments. I want to make sure to thank our community members for the really great back-to-school celebration that we had on July 28th. We are truly blessed to live in a community where we have tremendous support from our families, from our churches, and also from our area businesses, as well as our civic organizations. And it was a great, fun evening. We appreciate the support from our city council members, and it's always such a great tradition that we have around here to kick off our school year. So we want to thank everyone for that. I also want to make sure to thank our staff members for our successful open houses, and we have had a really great first 6 days of school. We're all thrilled to have the students and our families and our community members back in our buildings, and we know this is going to be a great year. This evening, we wanted to share some of the highlights that we're able to share now about our new school. Mr. Hilton has projected the architect's rendering of what the front of the building will look like. We have communicated with the architect and have indicated that we would like for the colors on the front of the building, the brick choices, and then also the roof choices and things to mirror the building here at the Midland High School so that we've got a more cohesive set of buildings across the district. We selected this plan based on touring several other elementary schools that have been built at other places around the state. This particular floor plan is particularly efficient and is less expensive than some of the other floor plans that are available. It's been built many times. We've had an opportunity to meet with the principals who run these buildings, and so they've given us some great feedback about some things that we might want to change and be able to even better improve. So it's just another example of the ways that we are trying to be incredibly careful with our taxpayer dollars. So you'll see that this example shows how the property where we're going to build this, which will be out on the parkway, actually will allow for us to have enough space to be able to, by fall of '25, open an elementary school. And then you can also see that the property will allow for space for a future middle school. We believe at this point in time that the middle school will be our next facility need. While our elementary or primary school buildings are the oldest buildings in the district, our middle school and high school buildings are actually our most crowded buildings. So we currently have 9 learning cottages. That's our word for it. Some school systems refer to them as trailers, but Ours are shaped more like classrooms, so we refer to them as learning cottages. We have 9 of those on the current middle and high school campus. So for that reason, we know that we need to replace our elementary school building, but we also need to provide some relief at our middle and high school. So the elementary school that we're proposing will actually serve kindergarten through 6th grade students, which will give us an opportunity to provide some relief here at the middle and high school, and then the students will already be over there when we get to the point where we have financial support to be able to build the future middle school. At the point where we're able to build the future middle school, it is our intention for it to become a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school. And then this site could be wholly available for high school. We're doing these things because we want to make sure that we've got a really sound growth plan. We do know that growth is coming to the area. We want to make sure that we're prepared for it. And we know that new buildings are great energy providers for a community. There will be a lot of excitement from everybody around, and we will make sure to have many celebrations all along the way where our families will be able to come on the site and be able to see the facility. We will also make sure that we've got lots of drone footage all along the way so people will be familiar with where we are in the process. One of the benefits from the arrangement that we made with the city when we traded this property as well as several of our properties with the city is that we will still be able to use the current primary school facility, and our plan is to turn it into an early learning center where our pre-K students will be in school until we're able to build the future middle school and move the 6th graders over to the middle school, at which point in time we certainly have enough space for our pre-K students to be able to join us on this particular site. We are also able to continue to utilize the gym that's currently on the elementary school campus, which we desperately need because we have such great basketball programs. We're having JV teams and 9th grade teams and all sorts of teams for basketball. We want to make sure that we continue to have a thriving program. So we need access to the gym that's there, and the city is also going to allow us to have access to our transportation facility, which is behind the current elementary school, as long as we need it, which we'll need it until we get to the point where we're able to have the funding to build the middle school. So we're very excited about this. We know that it's going to be great for our students and great for our staff members and also for the community. We know that some folks have expressed concern about safety out on the parkway. We want everyone to be aware that we're going to be working really closely with the Georgia Department of Transportation. They will give us very specific directions on what exactly needs to be done in order to make that site as safe as possible. One of the benefits for having it out on the parkway is that we believe we'll be able to resolve many of our arrival and dismissal issues that we currently have at the elementary and the primary school because of the age of the buildings. So you can see, Mr. Hill, would you mind going back to the you can see at both of the schools, we have plans for large parking areas as well as large driveway areas on and off the parkway. So we'll be working to get people off the parkway as quickly as possible and onto our campus so that hopefully we won't have as much frustration from the members of the community here in Social Circle during arrival and dismissal time. Another thing that I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of is that all along the process, we have engaged the voices of our teachers at each grade level regarding the development of the elementary school. They have met with us, a representative from each one of the grade levels, and with the architect as well as the building company, and they've been able to give input on the facility so that we can make sure that it really is designed to meet their needs. So we appreciate their input, and we are so excited about the opportunities that this is going to be able to provide our students and our new staff members. Next, in our agenda, you'll notice that we have public participation listed. And at this point, we do not have anyone who signed up to share publicly. Next, we have a special recognition opportunity. And most of the year, when it's our opportunity for special recognition, we are recognizing students. Since it's August and we're so early in the school year, we typically don't recognize students in August, but we're really excited to recognize one of our employees in one of our departments. And so, our financial CFO, she's very embarrassed, has been recognized for something that's really important. So she's received an award of distinction for excellent financial reporting. This is a reward that's given by the Georgia Department of Education and is rarely given out. And so we have been so fortunate with Ms. Cross joining us and with the team that she's put together to help, that we are in a much better financial place than we were before she joined us. She has worked with the board to help make decisions to ensure that we have a balanced budget each year, which has been tremendously beneficial for us. She's made sure that through this balanced budget, it's helped us to be able to get a much better bond rating, and we know that bond rating is going to help us to be able to afford to build the school. So this particular award is related to the accuracy of her reporting and the timeliness of her reporting, and we wanted to make sure to call attention to this and to say thank you so much to our CFO and her team, Ms. Nicole Cross. Next, we would like to give another quick report, and that will be from Mr. Todd Hilton, who is our Director of Safety and Technology. He would like to provide us some updates on where we are in the district with safety and technology.
And no, I don't need a guard up here with me. I wanted to say one more thing about Ms. Cross, if I could. This is the first time we've ever won this award in the history of Social Circle School. She takes really good care of us. And make sure that our students and our staff have everything that we need, and she erases all of our goes behind us and makes everything work even when we don't. I just wanted to tell y'all thank you. I am blessed to serve in the position that I serve as the Director of Technology and Safety. We've got a lot going on in our school system, a lot. As the years have gone by, safety has risen to the top of our concerns, and it's not because we wanted it to, it's because our society has changed so dramatically. I asked Officer Edwards to be up here with me tonight, just so you would know he is one of our SROs. He is currently at our middle school, high school campus here. Officer Johnny Campbell is at the primary and the elementary school. And they're not just here to catch the kids doing anything bad. Our students truly appreciate these gentlemen and what they do for our schools, checking the doors and making sure everyone is following the rules and everyone is safe. The world we live in is scary, and we cannot protect our children from everything, but I would just want to promise you that we will do all in our power to provide a safe learning environment for your children. And we need your support, and I'll talk more about that at the very end of my talk. Did you want to say hey, or just? All right, you go back to work. He's working at Foothills tonight too, so he's working up there. I did want to, as he was leaving, we also have a great relationship with our first responders, the fire department, as well as our EMTs. One of the things that we've done throughout the years, and I've made a point to make it something that we do this year, is we invite our first responders to come walk through our campuses. The last thing we need to happen is if an event did occur in our schools, for their first visit to our school to be when a crisis occurs. When they walk in and somebody tells them, hey, we need you on the first grade hall, and they're like, where is that? So we have invited our first responders, and they've stepped up and done that, and they will do it throughout the year, to come take tours of our building, to find out where the mechanical rooms are, where everything are. So I just thank the City of Social Circle and all of our first responders that come and participate in that. We're very well supported. We have safety handbooks that are written every single year. This year, all of our campuses are using the GMA template to design our safety protocols that's shared with our staff and our students. There are some things that we don't share because it's just our procedures, and we need to just be able to do those and make sure our children are safe. But all of our safety handbooks align with our strategic plan to make sure that we're supplying what we need for our students. We conduct fire drills, weather drills, lockdown drills the governor has required this year that we do threat assessments. We were already doing this. The governor made a mandate that all schools did this. We did these multiple times during the year, and we will continue to do that. So if your children come home and say they locked us in a room and we had to stay quiet, yes, we did. And we go through those procedures with our students to make sure they understand what happens. All throughout our buildings, we have AED machines at all of our locations. GEMA, like Dr. Brewer was just talking about the DOT, GEMA will also be coming in September to give us an evaluation of all of our sites, and we'll be walking the new school site to make some recommendations for that location as well. This coming year, we are in the process of upgrading our visitor management system to a system called IdentiKid. So when you come into the building, if you have business in the building, you will be checked in. Your ID will be checked against the sex offender registry. If there's ever any concern, it sends an alarm to our staff. Any visitor that is allowed to go past the front office will be given a badge that tracks them throughout the building to make sure they're going to the location that they said they were going to and not just visiting with their children. We have Stop the Bleed kits throughout our schools. We are installing new cameras and upgrading those on a continuous basis. We're able to monitor those. Our first responders have access to our cameras as well to go through our buildings. We're adding a new instrument that I'm not going to go into much detail, but we are installing vape detectors within our schools to help address that problem that has been growing over the last few years. I'm not going to be popular with the students, but I will be popular with the parents.
And those are specifically with the middle and high school?
Yes, middle and high school is where we're concerned about those. Hopefully we don't have to migrate, but we will if we need to. We have access control at our middle school, high school, where you have to scan yourself in. This will be included in, all of this will be included in our new school, but we will be updating the two present campuses. The elementary school and the primary school are getting new front doors and new entry doors with access control of those over the next couple of months. We'll be installing those. Where I was talking about I needed to get your help, and this can be anybody that's here, and you can share this outside. A program that we've started this year is called the Overwatch program. We're looking for volunteers, especially during arrival and dismissal times, to help with, because I know traffic flows so smoothly in the morning. There's never any trouble whatsoever. That's sarcasm, by the way. We need your help to help inside the schools as well as out in the parking lot. So if you're able to volunteer at any moment during the mornings or the afternoons, please contact me and let me know, or you can volunteer a relative to come do that as well. But just get them in contact with me, and I would be glad to put them in place and on our schedule to help out. I want to shift gears again to talk about technology now. We are very blessed with the technology that we have. That's probably a lot different than when you were in school, because I know it was a lot different from when I was in school. But our ratio of devices to students is we have a device for every 0.62 students. So that means we have more devices than we have students. That is to ensure that when downtime happens on some of the devices, there is another one to follow up behind that and make sure they have access to Chromebooks. We are supplying those devices also for our food service individuals and the ladies that work in the cafeteria, as well as our bus drivers will be receiving Chromebooks to conduct their trainings on. We're passing those out in the next couple of weeks to them. All of our classrooms have interactive panels. At the beginning of this year, we had a thing called the Share Fair, where staff members shared what they learned in technology with their colleagues, and they passed that on. And we continue to do that throughout the year. All of this is funded through multiple instruments. We get money from the DOE when we apply for grants, and we have applied for several grants that have supplied us with robotics, 3D printers, things that we can expand our curriculum to include more students and get them more interested in producing with their hands and maybe going into a vocation that involves robotics or such things. We apply for grants from the DOE, from the Walton Foundation. We receive grants also from Meta, as well as other locations. And we're all throughout the year, we're looking for other opportunities to reach out for new grants to supply good technology for our students. We had this. If you had any conversation with your students about earlier this week, you'll know that the internet had a little bit of difficulty. Did anybody notice there were some bad storms earlier this week? You did see those storms. They did not play nice with our technology, but we were up within 2 hours on Monday morning getting that back up. We have some very good vendors that work with us. Like I said, I'm going to end with this. Our goal is to supply your students with a safe, healthy learning environment. I have been here for 22 years, and this has been a blessing to see everyone come together to meet the needs of our students. But we cannot do it without the support of the community and the support of our board. And we've had both, and we continue to listen for your input, and we welcome your input, even if it's criticism. Just say it in a nice tone, and we like that. But we're there to help you and help your students. Dr. Brewer, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your leadership. Mr. Hilton has helped us to do a much better job with our strategic plan initiatives, and we have several goal areas there are related to organizational effectiveness, as well as safety and culture of well-being, as well as improved instruction and learning for our students. So we appreciate that very much, sir.
Next, we will ask Mrs. Cross to give the update on finance.
So good evening. Tonight I actually don't have a financial report. So June is the end of our fiscal year, as you know. So the end of this closing period is extended a couple months. So I'm required to have June finalized into the Department of Education by the end of September, but I do plan to have an unaudited financial report for you in September for last fiscal year. Also do not have a report on Freshway. Freshway changed for collections, went to the Social Circle Christian School this month. So I'll have both of those for you coming back next month. Next, I do want to highlight our 2023 tax year millage rate. I am very happy to announce that we are able to roll back our millage rate, and that millage rate will be 17.846 for this next fiscal year, which represents the 2023 tax year. This is a 4.68% decrease in the millage rate from the prior year, which was 18.722. Highlighted on this brief slide here for all of you to see is our millage rate over the last couple of years. And the M&O, which is our maintenance and operations taxes levy. So what this basically represents is your total tax digest collections for the year. In 2024, the revenue is estimated to be a little over $4.5 million. This represents about an 8.4% increase from the prior year, and it's about a $349,000 increase. And you will see that this millage rate is our lowest since 2017. The main driver of our tax collections and the millage rate is our overall tax digest, as you know. And I do want to point out from 2014 to our current tax digest, that digest has grown from $116 billion to over $253 billion. Now it grows by a number of factors. Obviously the result of new homes, new industry, new commercial properties, and it also is by way of property tax values going up. And so that's where a lot of our residents will see is their values have gone up. And so what we want to do is roll back our millage rate so the burden does not remain solely on them. I do want to remind you the only way to continue to alleviate some of the burden on taxes for residential taxpayers is when you see an increase in your industry and commercial. And so I just want to remind you of that. We are able to offer this reduction in the millage rate alongside being able to provide a 5% across the board pay raise to all employees, and we did have an addition of 7 new positions in this budget. I do want to thank Dr. Brewer for her leadership and the support and guidance of the board. It has been phenomenal working with all of you over these last 4 years to get where we are now, and I think we all have a place we can be proud of. Next, in the action items also, I just want to highlight, some of these are new items you haven't approved in the past. All of these contracts were included in the budget that you approved in June, but in an attempt to continue to increase our transparency, when there is a large budget item, regardless of the fact that if it was included in the budget, I think it's important to bring to your attention so you're aware of all of our high dollar contracts within that budget. So those are what those 5 contracts will be, and I'll just briefly describe them so that when you get to them you'll know. ABM, that is our contractor for custodial services. GCAC is the Georgia College Advising Corps. That is an opportunity we have with Mrs. Albertini, Ms. Albertini. She is here and she works with our seniors to help them prepare for graduation, apply to college, enter the workforce, or along those lines. GSBA Risk Management, they provide our property, casualty, auto, and workers' comp insurance. PlaySafe, this is our contract we have with our athletic trainer, currently who is Sierra, I'm sure most of you know. And our SRO program with the city. This is our student resource officers within the city. So those are the 5 contracts. If you have any questions, you can always let me know.
Thank you, Ms. Cross.
All right. Next is new business and action items, and thank you, Ms. Cross, for going over all of those. We have an action item to adopt the 2023 FY24 millage rate. Do I have a motion to adopt the 2023 FY24 millage rate as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have an action item to approve the FY24 ABM contract renewal. Do I have a motion to approve the FY24 ABM contract renewal as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have the action item to approve FY24 Georgia College Advisory Board renewal. Do I have a motion to approve the FY24 Georgia College Advisory Board renewal as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we have action item to approve the FY24 GSBA Risk Management and Work Compensation renewal. Do I have a motion to approve the FY24 GSBA Risk Management and Workers' Compensation renewal as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have an action item to approve the FY24 Play Safe renewal. Do I have a motion to approve the FY24 Play Safe renewal as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have action item to approve the FY24 SRO program renewal. Do I have a motion to approve the FY24 SRO program renewal as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to exit the regular session and enter executive session to discuss personnel?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to exit the, okay. Do I have a motion to exit executive session and re-enter the regular session?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, please same sign. Motion carries. We have personnel recommendation from our superintendent.
We are very fortunate to have several folks who have applied to be substitutes in our district, which helps us to be able to run effectively and efficiently. And so the first substitute that we are recommending is Amy Almond.
Do I have a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent? Do I have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. And anyone abstain? Motion carries.
Thank you. And the rest of the substitutes on our list are not related to anyone on the board, so we'll take their names as a whole group. Caroline Brock, Emily Brown, Jeffrey Callahan, Ashley Conyers, Jason Hanson, Jackie Norman, Ashley Osborne, Marley Preston, and Tanya Smith.
Do I have a motion to accept these recommendations from our superintendents? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. For the lady coaches.
We are very fortunate to have the following play coaches who have applied with our districts and been recommended by our administrators. Jay McKendry as a tennis coach with Social Circle High School, Matt Riley, an assistant coach for football at the middle school, Grace Walden, an assistant coach for volleyball at the high school, and Jamal Wells, assistant boys basketball coach at the high school.
Do I have a motion to accept these recommendations from our superintendent? Do I have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.